Zero and negative exponents. Let's talk about the zero exponent rule. In the generic form, we say that x to the power of 0 equals 1. Really, anything to the power of 0 equals 1. So, for example, I could have 237 to the power of 0, that will equal 1. I can have negative 516,000 to the power of 0 still equals 1. So anything to the power of 0 equals 1. When we talk about the negative exponent rule, the generic form says x to the negative a will equal 1 over x to the positive a. Some examples of this would be x to the negative 2 equals 1 over x squared. Two to the negative 3 would equal 1 over 2 to the positive 3. If we simplified that, it would be 1 over 2 times 2 times 2, which is 8. Let's look at some more examples. Remember that we need to use our order of operations. So let's simplify this. Remember, we do parentheses and exponents first. So our first step would be to do the exponent, 16 to the power of 0. And anything to the power of 0 is 1. So now we have 3 times 1, which is 3. 16 times 2 to the negative 2 is really going to equal 16 times 1 over 2 squared, which is 16. Let's go ahead and put that over 1 so we can see it as a fraction times a fraction, over 1 to the 4th. We can reduce before we multiply because 4 goes into 4 once and 4 goes into 16 4 times, and so 4 times 1 is 4 over 1 times 1, and so our final answer is 4. Looking at part C, of course we do the exponent first, and this time the negative is on the bottom, so it's actually going to move to the top and become 6 to the positive 1, and we'll replace it by 1 there. And so now we have 3 times 6 to the power of 1, which is just 6, over 1, which is 3 times 6 is 18, and over 1 would just be 18. On D, that negative exponent on top needs to move to the bottom to become positive, and the one on the bottom needs to move to the top. So now I have 8 to the positive 1 over 32 to the positive 1, which is the same thing as saying 8 over 32. And that reduces. 8 goes into 8 once, and 8 goes into 32 4 times, so it reduces to 1/4. Go ahead and pause the video and come back and check your answers when you're done. Thank you for pausing your video and trying these problems on your own. Hopefully after checking your answers, you found that you've done this correctly. If not, please reach out for some extra help.